Hi you two, welcome to another day of English. So we're carrying on with our story, which was the myth of Pandora's box. So let's see what we're going to do today. Our learning objective today is to answer comprehension questions on a text. So that means that you have to be able to understand the text, and then we're going to answer some questions on it to see if you understand it properly. It's a bit of a hard text, so we'll go through it again, don't worry. So let's warm our brains up with a quick activity. So Zeus was a sky god who controlled thunder and lightning. He was a strong, striking man with a muscular body and long curly hair. He has a short beard and he carries his trusty thunderbolt at all times. He was also king of the gods and would sit on his golden throne at the top of Mount Olympus. So your activity, you need a pen and paper for this. Can you draw a picture of Zeus and label the features listed? So if we go back, it says that he was strong and a striking man, and he has a muscular body. So you need to make sure you draw a strong man with lots of muscles. He has long and curly hair. Doesn't say what colour it is, so you can choose. He has a short beard, and he carried his trusted thunderbolt with him at all times. Okay, so he needs to have long curly hair, a short beard, and he's to carry his thunderbolt. And he also was a king of the gods, so he would sit on a golden throne on top of Mount Olympus. Let's see what you're going to come up with. So these are the images of Zeus that I have found. So these ones are the ones off the internet. There are lots of different ones. And as you can see in one of them, the first one, he has long grey hair, and this one he does have a long beard. And in the next one, that's a sculpture, so it's all just white. The next one, he has got white hair, and the last one he's got brown hair. But if you look at the differences between the pictures, they're all slightly different, but they're all got the same things. They've all got long curly hair, a beard. They've got, like I said, a muscular body, and in all of them he's carrying a thunderbolt or some kind of lightning. So let's read the story again so we can get more familiar with it. It's always good to read a story more than once. So are you ready? Let's read the story again. This is called The Myth of Pandora's Box. Are you nosy? Do you know what nosy means? Nosy means if someone's doing something, you would say, "Oh, what are you doing? I want to know." If you're nosy, you want to know what other people are doing. Do you like secrets? Have you ever done something that you've been warned not to do just to find out a secret? All through time, there have been stories about people being told not to open doors, cupboards, gates, and all sorts of things. And in many of the stories, people just didn't listen. One person who didn't listen is Pandora. Her story is from ancient Greece, where her nosiness changed the world forever. So let's start our story. Not hundreds, but thousands of years ago, in ancient Greece, there lived two brothers called Epimetheus and Prometheus. Although they lived in a world where the gods were in charge, they liked nothing more than to annoy the gods. One day, Zeus, a particularly powerful god, decided to teach them a lesson. Zeus ordered the gods to create a beautiful woman. Her name was Pandora, and she was to marry Epimetheus. As a wedding present, Zeus gave Pandora a beautiful box, but there was one special condition. She was never to open it. One day, Pandora's husband, Epimetheus, was out working. All day, all she could think about was what was inside the box. Pandora could not understand why Zeus would give her a box that she could not open. It made no sense to her. Pandora was bored and lonely, and her curiosity became unbearable. So what do you think she's going to do now? What does it mean, her curiosity became unbearable? If she's curious, she wants to know something, and if it means unbearable, when she can't bear it anymore, so she really wants to know what's inside the box. So this is where you need your pen and paper. So you'll need to pause the video to do the activity. What do you think the box looked like? Can you draw a picture of this very special box? So pause the video now and draw a picture of Pandora's box. One day, when she was sure that Epimetheus was out annoying the gods, Pandora searched for the key to open the box. "I know it's here somewhere," she muttered to herself as she opened cupboards and drawers. There it was, high up on a shelf in their bedroom. With shaking hands, Pandora slid the key into the lock and turned it. I wonder what's going to happen next. Okay, she took a deep breath, closed her eyes, and slowly, with trembling hands, opened the lid of the box, imagining what could be inside. Rubies as red as a blazing sunset, jewel-encrusted gowns, piles of gold coins. Oh, but there were no coins or jewellery, no gowns or gems, for all at once every evil and spite, every sadness and misery flew out. Like a swarm of insects, they flew round the house and infested the earth with heartache and sorrow. So that is quite complicated. Now, what does that mean? What actually came out of the box? Did insects really come out of the box? No. So basically, what came out of the box was evil and spite and sadness and misery. So it's going to make everyone in the earth, it says, infested the earth with heartache and sorrow. So it's going to make everyone on the earth feel really sad and miserable. So there was evil inside this box. I wonder what's going to happen next. Pandora slammed the lid shut and turned the key. "What have I done?" she sobbed, holding her head in her hands. Sometime later, Pandora noticed a fluttering sound coming from the box, as if something was trapped inside. Terrified, she pressed her ear to the box. "Let me out," a small voice pleaded gently. "I mean you no harm." So now, what do you think this fluttering is inside the box? It's whispered in a small voice, "Let me out," and it doesn't mean anyone any harm. But what do you think this fluttering could be? Let's see. Let's go to the next slide and see. Once again, with shaking hands, Pandora unlocked the box and opened the lid. A beautiful butterfly of hope fluttered out of the box. For although Pandora had released pain and suffering into the world, she had also allowed hope to follow them. So in the box, after the box, comes lots of evil things and bad things, but she also releases a beautiful butterfly, which allows hope. So there is some good that's come out of the box as well. So let's see if we can answer some of these questions. Remember, the answer should be in full sentences, okay? We can't just say yes or no, because that's not what we do in school. So, number 1, how did Pandora change the world forever? Now, if we think back to the text, what did she do? She opened the box, didn't she? And what came out of the box? Yes, it was lots of evil, so that changed the world forever. When is the story set? Now, if you go back to the story, it was set in not hundreds of years ago, but thousands of years ago, and it was set in ancient Greece. Very good. Who was in charge of the ancient Greeks? So, who was the king god? Who was the god in charge of all the other gods? Can you remember his name? He was the person we drew a picture of today. That was Zeus. So how would you put that in a full sentence? Can you just write Zeus? No. So you put in a full sentence by writing, Zeus was in charge of the ancient Greeks. What kind of character was Pandora? So if you go back to the start, it says something about being, are you nosy? And are you curious? So I would say she is a little bit nosy, but I would say she's a very curious character, isn't she? Because she wants to know what is inside the box that Zeus gives her. She doesn't just accept that she's given a present. She's very curious and she wants to go inside. So maybe she is a little bit nosy as well. Let's see what the next question. Who was Prometheus? Ooh, now, we heard about the other character. Who was Prometheus? Can you remember? If you can't, you can always go pause the video and go back and see if you can remember. Prometheus was the brother, wasn't he? He's not one of the main characters. We only see him at the beginning, but he was Epimetheus's brother. What is the evil that comes out of the box compared to? Now, can you remember what was it compared to? It comes out of the box and it's compared to what? It's compared to lots of insects, isn't it? It's compared to like a swarm of insects. Why do you think the Hope is a butterfly on the story? Now, this question is asking you what you think, so there's no right or wrong answer. So, why do you think that Hope is a butterfly in the story? There could be lots and lots of different answers for this one. I would say that I think Hope is represented as a butterfly because it's something small initially in the story, and then it flies off, so it can fly off to different places. And also butterflies are very beautiful, so Hope is showing us something beautiful, which is compared to the evil that comes out. And the last question, do you like the ending of the story? And then it says explain your answer. So when you're writing in a full sentence for that, you would write, yes, I like the ending of the story because, and then you would give your reason, or no, I didn't like the end of the story because. And you must make sure you write again in full sentences. Now it's your turn to answer the questions. So again, make sure you write in full sentences, no one word answers please, so you can't just write yes or no or write the name of one of the characters. Capital letters at the start of the sentences for names like Zeus, Pandora and ancient Greece. They all need capital letters. You need full stops at the end of the sentences. Let's try and make sure all our letters are formed correctly. And make sure you start from the right place. Now, looking at your homework last week, I noticed that some of you, I think, have forgotten, and that's absolutely fine, about your lovely handwriting. So let's have a look at a few letters. The ones I've noticed are N, A, P and B. Now, if you have a look in the middle of the picture here, you can see that this is the way it should be. Down Nobby over his net. And this is what I can see in a few of your pieces of work, which means you haven't got the stick here, you haven't got Nobby. See if I can draw it in. There we go. You need the stick here. So with A, down the umbrella, up the umbrella and a handle. And again, it's just this bit here and you need to make sure you're drawing the handle. Obviously, if you're doing cursive, you need to make sure you've got all your wishes. Now, P does not start from the bottom and go up like this. It starts from the top. You go down the pirate's plait, up and around his face. And again, B does not start from the top and go around. You go down the boots and over the laces. So these are the ones I have picked out. B, N, P and A. Okay, so you need to really, really practice those ones to make sure you're doing them properly, just like you would if you were in school. Well done for today, and I'll see you tomorrow.